Spain, the champions of Europe, are pouring forward again. And again, the same pair of 40-year-old hands turns them away. 7 saves, 90 minutes, 0 goals conceded. Cape Verde, playing the first World Cup match in their history, have just shut out Spain. And the man the whole planet is suddenly asking about is a second-division goalkeeper whose nickname means Granny. So who is he? How does a 40-year-old from a tiny island end up embarrassing the best attack on Earth? 3 things are coming. A boy named after a World Cup he wasn't born for, an electrician who refused to quit, and a farewell that made grown fans cry. Start in Mindelo, a port town on the island of São Vicente, Cape Verde. Josimar José Evora Dias is born there on the 3rd of June 1986. The story goes that his parents wanted to name him Valdano after the great Argentine. They weren't allowed, so they chose Josimar after Brazil's breakout star of the 1986 World Cup. Think about that. He was named after a World Cup before he could walk. Then he spent 4 decades trying to reach one of his own. His father was in the military and his mother worked, so his grandparents largely raised him. The street pitches of Mindelo did the rest. He was always the smallest boy in games full of older kids. And when they knocked him around, he ran home to his grandmother. His friends never let him forget it. They called him Vozinha, Granny. The name stuck for life, and one day entire stadiums would chant it. Around the age of 11 he went in goal, and he never left it. He loved the loneliness of it, the responsibility. One mistake and everyone remembers. But the coaches kept repeating the same verdict: too skinny, too small. Not a real prospect. Year after year, nobody gave him a chance. So while other futures took off, his went sideways. He worked as an electrician, wiring buildings by day, training whenever the day job allowed. Imagine that life for a moment. Up a ladder with a toolbox, dreaming about penalty boxes. For years, that was the whole career. He did not sign his first professional contract until he was 26 years old. Most careers are half over by then. His hadn't even started. What followed was the least glamorous route in world football. Angola first, learning his trade in a league most of Europe couldn't name a single club from. Then Moldova, and winters colder than anything an island boy had ever felt. Different country, same job. Keep the ball out, earn the next contract. Cyprus came next, and with AEL Limassol, finally, something to lift. The Cypriot Cup, in 2019. After more than a decade of grinding, his first trophy. 19 years. More than 200 senior games across 6 countries. One single piece of silverware. And he kept going anyway. By his late 30s, he had landed at Chaves, in Portugal's second division. An honest, anonymous professional. The kind of career nobody makes films about. Except for one thing. Since 2012, whatever club paid his wages, he had guarded the goal of his country. And his country was quietly building something. A golden generation stitched together from the diaspora, sons of Rotterdam, Lisbon, and Paris, with the islands in their blood. In 2025, the impossible happened. Cape Verde, 10 volcanic islands, 500,000 people, qualified for the World Cup for the first time in their history. They would be the smallest nation at the entire tournament. And the man in goal was about to turn 40. Everyone agreed on the script. Brave little Cape Verde would wave to the cameras, lose politely, and fly home with some souvenirs. Because the opening fixture was a horror draw. Spain. The champions of Europe, the tournament favourites, a machine built to score. And Spain did what Spain do. Wave after wave, chance after chance, the kind of siege that usually ends 3 or 4-0. Except every single wave broke on the same rock. Low to his left. Strong at his near post. Brave at the striker's feet. 7 saves in all. Full time. Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. On their very first night of World Cup football, the islands had shut out the best team in Europe. And history came with it. Only Peter Shilton and Zoff had ever kept a World Cup clean sheet at an older age. An electrician from Mindelo joined that list. And notice how he did it.
No theatrics, no desperate flapping.
Just position, patience and timing, the craft of 20 years on hard grounds nobody filmed. Overnight, everything changed. Reportedly, 14 million new followers found him. The world had discovered its favorite underdog, and he had a granny's nickname. And in Mindelo, the port town where the skinny kid once ran home to his grandmother, the streets simply exploded. Their boy had stopped Spain. Reporters from every continent suddenly wanted the electrician's story. He told it the way he plays. Calm, unhurried, and completely unbothered by the noise. The run kept breathing. Against Uruguay, Cape Verde traded punches in a wild 2-2 draw. Against Saudi Arabia, another shutout, another point. And somehow, the smallest nation at the tournament was through to the knockout rounds. The polite early exit never came. Instead came Argentina, the reigning world champions. Messi's heirs against a keeper older than some of their coaches' careers. And for one unforgettable night, he made it a war. Diving, clawing, commanding his box like a man who had waited 19 years for this exact stage. Twice Cape Verde went behind. Twice they clawed level, the second deep into extra time. The world champions were genuinely shaking. It finally ended 3-2 to Argentina in extra time. No collapse, no embarrassment. The champions had to earn every inch of it. When Cape Verde went out, Vozinha had made 18 saves. At that moment, only 2 goalkeepers in the whole World Cup had more. Both were half his age. And then, the farewell. A full stadium on its feet for a 40-year-old from Portugal's second division, chanting the name his friends invented to tease him. Cameras followed him off the pitch. Interviews, tributes, headlines in languages he'd never heard. The anonymous journeyman was anonymous no more. Think about everything that had to go wrong to make this story possible. The rejections, the toolbox years, the contract that came a decade late. If any club had signed him at 18, maybe he burns out, fades, retires forgotten. Instead, the slow road delivered him, at 40, to the perfect stage. Nobody knows how much football is left in those hands, but it no longer matters. The boy named Josimar finally reached a World Cup. Somewhere in Mindelo tonight, a skinny kid is throwing himself around a dusty goalmouth. And this time, nobody will tell him it's impossible. And this time, the name wasn't borrowed from anyone. They were chanting his. If this story stayed with you, subscribe to Beyond the Boots for more. The boots tell the story. We just follow the footsteps.